The next question is, how involved do you get in your child's life without them feeling that you are micromanaging? What is that? Because I think you might be more micromanaging than him.
Yeah, I might think maybe made that way. But I think he always used to say that you need to give that space and to allow a child to be, what they can be. Because I remember at one time you were quite caught up with jeans and t-shirt and kiddo sandals, which was your standard attire every day. And it was like even on Sundays when you used to go to church, everything you wanted to wear, only that. And I used to be a little bothered about it because sometimes I want you to wear a dress or a skirt or something like that, and you would never agree to that. So then I remember he's telling me that these are all frivolous things. It's okay as long as she's not
Unless she's decently
dressed. If she's decently dressed, whatever it is, let her wear. Also, when you were 18 and you decided to go to Bombay and study there and live there, and we were in Coimbatore, that would have been for me difficult if I had to make the decision on my own. Maybe I would have taken it. But then he always said that no, you have to give her space so that she can make her own choices. As long as a child is in the house, maybe out of fear or whatever, they make the right choices. But only when they are out of the house and she has to make her own choices, her character will be built. It's not out of fear, but out of her own choice, out of her own convictions, if she does. So I think because of him, I have been a little more.
My perspective is does granting latitude get interpreted as lack of involvement? I say no. Just because in granting latitude or the space, I see myself as actively involved in your growth. So that's the kind of involvement I feel is precious from a child's perspective and the developmental perspective. And I think often an irking point in the relationship between parent and child arises from a misinterpretation of what involvement is. So if it's always the child is within your sight and every bit of it is the child needs to be according to you and you need to be present and show parenting, almost incorrect in my point of view. There again goes back to that same point as regards disciplining. What is it that is really an aspect that requires a much more serious approach to disciplining as compared to other? It's a differentiating that you need to do. Why would I stand in the way of a child's creativity and imagination? Because the child is exploring the world. So I might have had one appropriate for myself. So why would I actually think that I need to sit beside that child and make myself involved in that fashion?
Yeah, because as you said, the role of parenting is not to protect your child and keep them in that cocoon, but to enable them to become a whole individual on their own, making the right choices, contributing to society. So you have to aid them in that process, and sometimes you kind of stunt their own growth by your own
imposition.
So
you impose and you believe you have good intention without adequate understanding of your function. And then that's where the irritant comes. And when the irritant comes, there is resistance. That's why parents are required not to really engage in acts that chaff. It actually, the sensibilities of a child get crushed. So good intention gets interpreted as wrong instruction, and then the alienation comes. And then such a parent again further, tries to chain the child even more. And then that creates ground for rebellion. So it's an irony. The parent wants to show love, but somehow that love gets in a way misinterpreted as to how to be expressed. And the parent who longs for the child loses the child. So the child then gets inappropriately constructed and then therefore society has to carry that burden. And the child also is directionless. The relationship has to be secure. If that snaps, then it's almost like watching a child out of the mother's womb earlier than what nature has provided. And then again, involvement without appearing too dominant. Say, for example, you had an interest in doing these speeches that will be relevant to community and actually wanting to save and buy equipment. So, since I see even me as a role to reach out to community, which I do, that you are working on that from your own perspective. I have not therefore hesitated. I said I will give you also to augment your money so that you are better equipped. So I am thereby seen as one participating in what your interests are. Though distant, I am actually involving in your life. So I wouldn't be seen naturally as encroaching into your life because I am again undergirding it with the space that I recognize you need, but you again don't see me as distant because I am participating in something which is very close to your heart. And so there are obviously all different possible opportunities to show that you don't necessarily have to be really being so dominant in your child's life, but yet leave in the child's heart the message that your dad is involved.